friends. I'm Karen, and this is the Family Food for Moms podcast. We're talking about inspiration for family cooking and dining. Today, we're going to be talking about food from the Caribbean. So, what is Caribbean comfort food? What can we learn from Caribbean cuisine? I find it quite fascinating what they eat out there. Some things that are quite foreign to us and some things perhaps familiar, but definitely different to living on the mainland. What makes comfort food in the Caribbean? Starches, rice, dumplings, plantains, yams. So some unusual starches, but that great comfort food starchy base of a dish is very Caribbean. One-pot meals are common, so stews, soups, and rice dishes that simmer for a long time and have that very deep, rich flavor. So big flavor bases, onion, garlic, thyme, scallions, all of those big flavor boosters. There are a lot of recipes that have been passed down verbally that people know how to cook just from watching previous generations cook. So Jamaica, rice and peas with coconut milk and kidney beans is a Sunday staple. Oxtail stew is popular. And cornmeal porridge, creamy, sweet, and tasty. Trinidad, something called pilau, which is a one-pot rice and caramelized chicken dish with coconut milk. Something called doubles, which is soft bara bread with curried chickpeas, and callaloo, which is a silky green soup made with okra and coconut. Haiti, there's a pumpkin-based soup with beef and vegetables. Puerto Rico, asopao, I think you say it, thick soupy rice stew, good for when you're not feeling well. And something called arroz con grandules, rice with pigeon peas, sofrito, and pork. Pigeon peas are highly nutritious peas found in the Caribbean. Then in Barbados, macaroni pie, which is baked and cheesy and spiced. Cuckoo and flying fish, which is cornmeal and okra with savory fish and gravy. Then throughout the Caribbean, fried or boiled plantains are very popular. Maybe that's where we get plantain chips from. Festival is sweet fried dough, and then dumplings are either boiled or fried or dropped in soup. And coconut bread. So, what can we learn from the Caribbean about food and cooking? Flavor comes from layering. We've heard this many times, not from fancy ingredients. So, Caribbean cooking is very much about building depth, about layering flavor. So, starting with aromatics, your onion, your garlic or scallion, thyme, ginger, and then your heat, chilies or pepper, and long, slow cooking to let your flavors meld and to deepen the flavor. Many Caribbean foods come from necessity. So saltfish, rice, beans, and then things like yams, plantains. So this comes from adaptation to their environment when things perhaps were scarce, money was scarce. Also one-pot meals like pilau, callaloo, etc. Number 2, balance is everything. Caribbean foods are good with balance. So there'll be the balance between sweet, savory, acidic, and heat. So sweet, they would use plantains, coconut sugar. Savory, they would use saltfish or smoked meats and fish. Acidic, there's lime, vinegar, the tamarind, orange. And then heat, pepper, chili, etc. So great cooking is about contrast, not being dominated with one single flavor, but having all those flavors come through. And then number 3, spice is not just about heat, but it's about aroma. Caribbean food is not just spicy, but it's fruity, it's complex, there's floral flavors. The spices are toasted and bloomed or infused in something. So the spice brings the perfume, brings the aroma. Shouldn't just be hot for the sake of it. Also in the Caribbean, cooking and eating is often communal. So they do big pots to share with neighbors, they have shared meals, Sunday cooking outdoors, connection. So they're very focused on cooking for people and making it a social event, making eating about fellowship with each other. Also, nothing goes to waste. They're very creative in reusing everything, partly because of the poverty that has been there. So leftover rice, perhaps they would make into fried rice style dishes. Tough cuts of meat, they would cook long and slow for stews. They would use bones for extra nutrition in soups and broths. And then mixed vegetable dishes, also used in stir fries. So here are some things that you should have in stock, perhaps, or in your pantry if you're going to cook Jamaican food or Haitian or anything kind of Caribbean style. So the main ones would be an allspice, like pimento. Thyme, dried and fresh, is always good. Garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, the plain kind and smoked paprika, ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, cloves, black pepper, curry powder, and then some extras, a Caribbean hot sauce, crushed or red pepper flakes, chili paste, soy sauce, Worcester sauce is very good, coconut milk and evaporated milk for rice and curries and desserts, tomato paste, vinegar, apple cider, and white vinegar. And then grains and legumes like rice, dried beans, split peas, and some flour, some cornmeal, maybe some breadcrumbs. And then your oils, coconut oil, olive oil. Olive oil is more Mediterranean, but it's still a good one. Fresh thyme, fresh onions, bell peppers. Coconut sugar is an option. Tamarind paste. So we're going for spicy and exotic sweeteners and then starches. And then the rest would be fresh fish, fresh vegetables to add to those. So what are some easy Caribbean style dishes that you can cook at home? Jerk chicken, you can either do this in the oven or in a pan. So it's easy because it's just one marinade, very simple, but it brings big flavor. So you would blend or mix your jerk seasoning and some garlic, some thyme, some scallions, oil, lime juice, and lime zest. And then you're going to rub that on your chicken thighs or drumsticks or even breasts. And then bake it at a high heat, 425 or 210 Celsius. Or you could pan sear it and then finish it in the oven. You want to make sure that it's cooked through but not too dry. You can serve it with rice or peas and salad. Then an easy Caribbean style rice dish is rice and peas, and this goes with everything. So you saute your garlic, your flavor. You want to get the flavor base going. You add some thyme, scallions. You can add rice, coconut milk, and maybe some water. Then kidney beans or pigeon peas or any peas if you like. Add some salt and pepper, a bay leaf, and then you simmer it until it's cooked and it wants to be creamy and fragrant. And then with that, you could do some Caribbean style pan fried fish like snapper, hake, tilapia, cod, salmon. First, you're going to season your fish well. So you're going to put salt, pepper, some garlic pieces or crushed garlic or even garlic powder, and then add some acid like lime or lemon juice, bit of butter or olive oil on top, and then you lightly pan fry it, or you could bake it in the oven and add some more lemon or lime at the end. A coconut curry shrimp is very fast and impressive. You just got to know the right amount to cook it. So it's good to read the recipe carefully for that part. You don't want your pan to be too hot. You're going to saute your spices a little bit to enhance their flavor. Some curry powder, some garlic and onion. And then you're going to add your shrimp and toss it while it cooks to coat it. Then you're going to pour in your coconut milk and simmer for about 8 to 10 minutes and have that with rice or roti, very easy. Caribbean style lentils or beans, very easy if you want plant-based. So simply season them with onion or onion powder, some garlic, thyme, some coconut cream, and then you simmer until they're good and flavored and tender. You'd need to cook your beans first, or your lentils. Your beans could be tinned, and then it's quick and easy. You just add them from your pantry and add those extra ingredients. You can add some curry powder too. Lentils you can also use from a can, or you can cook those in the coconut cream because they don't take as long. But it's a good idea to soak them first for a couple of hours in some water. Fried plantains is a fun, easy one to try if you can get hold of them. So you want the ripe ones, yellow or black plantains. Slice them and then fry in oil until golden. Obviously, once you've peeled them. That's some sweet and salty magic. You can add a little salt, but it's not really necessary because of the oil. See what you like. And then a quick salsa is really good. You can chop any fruit like mango. You add some sweet onion, bit of lime juice, some salt and pepper, and that goes amazingly with fish or chicken as a little topping. Obviously, you can add some spiciness too, like chili powder if you'd like to. So don't be afraid to try these things and to kind of ad lib, decide what you like the flavor of, and try adding a little bit, tasting it, seeing what you think it needs, and then enhancing the flavor. I hope that you do some Caribbean cooking in the near future and that you don't find it too intimidating, but rather have a ton of fun. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.